What's good, Atlanta? It's your favorite cup of tea. We're here with another episode of Spill the Tea TV. I am the voice of the Indies. You can follow me right down below at TEAACUPP_. So next to me, I have this beautiful, strong, representative woman by the name of Miss Cindy Thomas.
Hello. How are you, Miss Teacup?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's a nice day outside. Feels pretty good. Got a little breeze going, so I like it.
Yes, you look good. I like your dress.
Thank
it's not
you.
too short. It looks very good. So
Thank you.
I just want to first say thank you so much for just taking the time to sit and talk with me. I know a lot of people are used to me like interviewing artists or interviewing people that have brands, but I want to encourage people to just get more involved with what's going on locally, because those are things that impact people directly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you know, not everyone knows it, but your mayor of your city, that's the person that's closest to you that will have the biggest impact on your life. So of course, president is important, and the governor is too, but the mayor of your city, that person, you know, really can help to change your quality of life for sure.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's what I was saying as well. And as a person I went to MLK High School in Lithonia, I went to Salem Middle School in Lithonia, so a lot of my peers and audience, they are followers of me. But even if you don't live in Lithonia, as she said, it's definitely important to get in touch with what's going on directly. So I've asked a lot of my followers, okay, because there's so many changes going on in Georgia, in the metropolitan and in Lithonia itself. Okay. So one of the first changes that we've seen within the past year or so is it's officially the city of Stonecrest. It's officially a thing now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Stonecrest is a real thing. So really what it is that, so Lithonia was actually created in 1856, right?
Okay.
And so from there it grew, and that was the actual city of Lithonia.
Okay.
Everything else that was all around it was unincorporated Lithonia. So it was Lithonia, it just hadn't been officially in the city. And so what happened is that, you know, there's all kind of tales of why there is a Stonecrest. I won't get into that. But what I'll say is that Stonecrest took unincorporated Lithonia. Okay. And so they really took a huge chunk of it. They put into their city the mall and, you know, all that's around it. And so now that is officially Stonecrest. And so even though most do still have the address of Lithonia, it is Stonecrest. That said, there are still some parts that are unincorporated Lithonia that's still Lithonia. Okay. Yeah, but it is different. So it is kind of confusing. You know what? The best comparison is Decatur. Okay. So there is the actual downtown Decatur. Yes, and that is the actual city of Decatur. But then of course, anybody who's from like Flat Shows or Gresham or Candler, they're like, I am straight from the deck. I am from Decatur. They are. Yes, you are hardcore from the deck. However, you could not vote for the mayor that is the actual mayor of Decatur unless you move into the actual incorporated Decatur section. So that's the best example of it. Okay, so when people are voting for you, are they voting for Lithonia or the city of Stonecrest, or is it all still together at this time? Great question. It's only for Lithonia. So the only people that can actually vote have to live within the city limits of downtown Lithonia, which is like just 1 square mile. It's like a little circle. It is very small. So actually, for Lithonia, for Stone Mountain, for Decatur, all of them are, you know, they have like the little downtown parts of it, and then they have like all around it, and so those folks can't vote, but only the ones that are actually within the lines. And so not everybody knows where they cut off at, but you know, you just gotta like look online, and then you know what, actually I can send you a map of Lithonia so that folks can know if they're able to vote or not. Okay, because I wonder if people that went to like my school district, that would be like Snapfinger Road or Panola Road, Browns Mill, Evans Mill. I know Evans Mill kind of somewhat comes into Stonecrest. Yep. So would they be able to vote for you? Or they cannot. They cannot. I wish y'all could. I wish they could. Y'all can support. Y'all can volunteer. You can spread the word. All that is super, super important. You know, you can give donations, $5, $10, everything helps for sure. but they could not actually vote.
Okay, so what do you plan to do as far as physically, step by step, go and to bring these businesses, bring people that already have businesses here to the city of Lithonia?
Great question. So currently I am on the Downtown Development Authority for Lithonia, right?
Okay.
And so I love that because basically my job is to do just that. It is to actually go out and get businesses. And so I'm that person that I spend time in all the different neighborhoods. I'm in Cabbagetown, I'm in Kirkwood, I'm in Castleberry Hills, I'm in Atlanta, I'm going all around, and I actually spend time in the neighborhoods to see, okay, what businesses are here that would be a good fit in Lithonia. And so I actually go and talk to them. One of my best examples, and I'll just go ahead and say it because it's a great place, is that so in downtown Stone Mountain, it's a coffee shop. It's black owned. It's called Gilly's Brew House, or Brew Bar actually. And so, you know, I always go there, love it, great owner, great people, great vibe. And so one day I'm like, hey, so what about opening up your next location in downtown Lithonia? And he goes, you know what, Cindy, that'd be cool. Like, I'll be down for that. And so we've been, you know, talking about that. I've been hunting for space that's in the area for him to actually bring his coffee shop. And so my thing is that I am on the ground, or I am in the trenches, really working to grow Lithonia for the people and for the businesses too, because obviously by there being more businesses in Lithonia, that actually does help out the other businesses too, right? Because, you know, so then that's more foot traffic. There's more people that are going to come by. And so, yeah, so I go out and I actually seek businesses that would be a good fit for Lithonia. And I do that based on the fact that last year I led all of our vision meetings. So I co-led them, and in that process, I went through all of our documents, talked to people to see what's important to them, and I also did background on what kind of stores do well in our area that has our same like population, and, you know, X, Y, and Z. And so, yeah, so I have a good grasp on that, and I actually actively go out and I seek businesses to come here, and I'm open too. So if anybody has a business that you want to have in Lithonia, please let me know. You can email me, call me. My Instagram is at Vote Cindy Thomas, and definitely let me know, because I've gotten one person who actually came to me last week. It's a guy with a bakery. Okay. And he goes, hey, I like your signs were outside, and then I followed you, and I would love to have a business in Lithonia. I'm like, come on. Like, I'm super business friendly. I am very pro business. I'm from a long line of entrepreneurs. I'm like a 5th generation entrepreneur. And so I'm all about that life. And so I definitely encourage anyone that has a business to come, and I will do all that I can in my power to get them a space and to get them up and running.
Okay. So let's say I'm a business, okay? So I'm not a business that's already has a physical location in Stone Mountain, or that's already successful, but I say, hey, so I have a business. Let's say my business is a library. I feel that a library is needed because we want to educate people. We want to have a creative space for people. We want to have a place for people to meet up. Now, how are we going to go about this? How can you help me?
Right. Great question. So what I do is that I always start off with a couple things. So I have talked to pretty much every business owner, or I'll say what's even more is every owner of property that's in Lithonia. So I know what's available, and I also know who is open to, you know, having folks, you know, come in. And so there are a couple of people that actually have buildings that need work to where their viewpoint is, hey, if you can come in and actually renovate this building, then you can get free rent for a year, for 2 years, for however long, you know, y'all, you know, you guys would work that out, but they're very open to it. And so I have about 3 spaces that are like that. They're all side by side, but it's like a space where the guy, he is so open to folks coming in. So that's the first option. If that hopefully somebody will, do that. If they don't want to do that, then we have other options as well. So there's, there's spaces that you can lease, and so I can try to see if I can get a good deal for you on the lease. And so it just depends on what your needs are, what your budget is.
Okay. Now, also we mentioned those programs for kids because I know there was an announcement a couple years ago about certain programs being taken out of schools. Now, I'm uncertain if that was here in Lithonia. I know it was for like the greater Atlanta. Now, what do you feel there is a lack thereof, and what do you plan to bring for these?
Right. So one of the main things that I do now is that I work very closely with our rec center. So the Lucius Sanders Rec Center off of Bruce Street. We have a great new director there, and basically our program right now after school, pretty much they're in the gym, they're kind of playing, and they do some good stuff. They'll do some homework, but it has to be more, right? So I have been working with them to actually build out their after school program.
Okay.
One of the coolest ones that I love to brag about because it's so neat is I have a friend that has this great game truck, like this tricked out game truck.
Trucks.
Yeah, it's beautiful. MTV crib style game truck.
Okay.
And so in that game truck, it also doubles as a classroom to teach kids how to code and make beats.
Oh, wow.
And so we have been in the works with that. So we actually just finished building out what each day will look like for the kids.
Okay.
And so that will be rolling out. So we'll actually have this awesome program for the kids after school to learn how to code and make beats. That's two. We're going to also bring in a art teacher. So arts are very important. It has been shown that kids that do spend time in the arts, they do better in school.
Yes.
So that's a big thing. Funny enough, I would say probably about 2 hours ago, I was at a store and I met this woman that actually teaches piano.
Oh.
And so I asked her, I was like, hey, I have this rec center and I'm, building out this after school program. Would you be open to having classes here? And she said, yeah. So that's something that will also be in there. So we really are building it out to be a very robust program. My goal is for our rec center to have the best after school program really in Georgia, but I'll just say for now in DeKalb. So just really having good options. The goal really is to develop both the land and the business and the people. That's the key. You have to help the people that are there, right? And so that's why there is so much focus on the people that are there. I think that others may have tried to here and there, but because we're so small, I feel like we can really do it. I spend time in the trenches with these people, with my people, and I know where their heart is. I know that they want some good jobs. They want opportunities, right? And so I will do everything in my power to make sure that they get those things.
Okay. Now, Miss Cindy, these roads are crazy over here. I didn't bust my tire about 3 times driving all up through here. And like we said, this poverty line, everybody's not, I don't want to say people aren't affording Uber. Uber may not be the safest.
Right.
Okay. So do you plan to do anything about transportation? Do you plan to extend it into certain areas? Right,
of course. So as everyone knows, so MARTA stops at a certain point, right? It doesn't come all the way down here. They are doing work in DeKalb County to work to bring MARTA down some more. So all of that is very important to me. So I will spend time with the folks that are building out those plans to see how can we get some rail down here in Lithonia. So that is, top priority on the list for sure. The other thing is that we have toyed around with the idea of us having our own trolley.
Okay.
So it'll be
that would really bring life to the city, because that is like one of the tourist attractions in downtown Atlanta. So that would have people looking at Lithonia as we don't have to leave Lithonia to have certain scenery or to experience certain things.
Right. Yeah. So really having that trolley so there's 2 different options that we've talked about. One is having it for Lithonia to where, so it's our trolley and then it goes to certain stops. So maybe it'll go to Stonecrest Mall. It'll go to this one station here or this area. Basically, it'll have its own stop in its own schedule. The other thing is that we have toyed around with the idea of partnering with Stonecrest as well as Stone Mountain to have our own like trolley system. That way it will pretty much go from Stone Mountain, Lithonia, Stonecrest, and back, because our areas really are all together. And so that's something else that we thought about too.
Yes, because Stone Mountain and Lithonia, Stone Mountain and Stonecrest are actually very adjacent to Lithonia.
Very much so.
We have a lot of history in Stone Mountain.
Yes.
A lot of history that has
Yes.
affected Black people over the
Yes,
years.
yes.
A lot of history just at Stonecrest, because I remember years ago when it was built in 2002, 2001,
Right.
something around that time.
Yeah.
And I know Stonecrest itself was projected to be an area like Brookhaven, so that's why they're trying
Right.
to now make it like the city of Stonecrest.
Right.
But I know it was a lot of traffic back then. Like, I was going there when I
Right.
was younger. I would
Right.
spend days there. It would be crowds there all day, every day.
With the mall, right? With Stonecrest
Yes,
Mall.
with Stonecrest Mall.
Right.
We have a lot of businesses closing down. Like,
Right.
Best Buy isn't there
Best
anymore.
Buy's gone. Sam's is gone. Target is gone. It's a lot of places that are not here anymore, unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, I know like your focus is downtown Lithonia, but what
Right.
do you think killed Stonecrest? I would say.
There are so many factors that probably go into it, but what I will say is that malls as a whole, it's a dying breed,
Right.
basically. So there
Everybody's
are,
online now and-
yeah.
Mhm.
There's like this really cool documentary. I believe it's on Netflix. So it's a scene. They're in like mid-America, and basically these kids are like they skate in the mall. I mean, it is a huge, totally abandoned mall with like stuff growing from it. And that is how it is all across the country. So we're having to actually rethink what the mall is for. And so actually I talked to one of the folks here at Stonecrest about just that. And what some places have done is that they have taken certain lots, they have built on the lot of it. You have to just get very, very creative, with how you build it out. And so I think that as long as they have a good strategic plan, they can definitely turn it around, but they have to think outside the box in a very hardcore way, because malls are dying because of the online situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
I have my followers. They sent me tweets. They sent me Instagrams.
Okay.
Just a couple of random questions. Things to ask you.
Okay,
Things on their
yeah.
thoughts.
Let's go for it.
So Cindy, do you have any plans to work with Stacey Abrams, her Fair Fight 2020 initiative?
Awesome. Yeah. So there are some great folks on my team that are super pro Stacey Abrams. I did vote for her. And so, yeah, so I would love to work with her on that. I mean, she's a great person. I have met her. And so, yeah, I am definitely pro Stacey.
Okay, so do you think what she's working on, do you think that will help people? Do you think the issue, do you know about the Fair Fight 2020?
Yeah. Fair fight as far as voting, right?
Voting, yes.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, that's like a huge topic within itself, right? With all the gerrymandering and X, Y, and Z. And so I do believe that we cannot stand for folks not having their vote counted, for people being we have to make sure that people can vote and that they do vote. So I'm definitely for
And
that.
if they're educated on how to vote.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so what are some of your initiatives that you plan to continue? I know Miss the Commissioner Marita Davis.
Yes, yeah,
and,
she's awesome. She's
Deborah
awesome.
Jackson as well. Okay,
Of course.
So, do you plan to continue any initiatives that they already have going on?
Great question. One of my favorite ones is, so with our current mayor and with the commissioner, of course, both of them, they have done a great job with our park. So we got some grants there. We just opened up a new pocket park. One of my favorite is the fact that there's a trail for the mountain, Arabian Mountain, that goes.
Yes, it goes all the way to
Conyers.
Yes, and it goes from East Point all the way to Conyers, and it's like a good bit of it passes
connect.
by my high school, by MLK.
Yes, it does. Absolutely. Yes. So our goal is to actually extend that to come to Main Street.
Okay.
And so it was in the plans. It's like years ago when I saw that, I'm like, y'all, this got to happen right now. So that is something that she started that I am fully 100%, 300% behind, because by that path starting on Main Street, that will mean more people more traffic, so businesses will do better. It'll help us to, even for our fitness, right? So
Right.
folks can now just
Right.
like walk right on the trail. They can, work out, and so that is like my favorite thing that will definitely continue for sure.
Okay. And I'm glad you mentioned fitness, because if you're looking to tie in mental health, definitely
Right.
walking at least 10 minutes a day,
Yes.
relaxing your mind and beautifying the area. We'll have
Yes.
something to look at. We'll have
Yes.
something to, go by and woo-saw. We
Yes.
can go and do yoga.
Yeah, girl, yoga is on the, even for our after school program, that will also include yoga too.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have several friends that actually teach yoga, and so we are definitely going to have that in the parks too. So that is very important for sure. Yep.
Okay. So we all have people have questions about the cannabis industry, the stance on
Okay.
cannabis.
Okay.
Because a lot of, not only just for recreational use, but since we are 91% Black people,
Right.
A lot of people are getting, because the ticket for, if you have, maybe less than an ounce of cannabis,
Right.
or it's only for Atlanta, basically,
Right.
where you can only get a ticket. Here, if you have that, you're going to jail.
Right.
You're facing some serious
Right.
repercussions. That also plays a factor into our crime rate. That
Right.
also plays a factor into people losing their families, losing what they
Right,
have. So
right.
how do you feel as far as the stance of, I guess, easing on to how people are charged for that? Or
Yeah,
make it
great
illegal?
question, great timing. So actually last night I was with the mayor of Clarkston, Ted
Okay.
Terry. And so I believe that Clarkston was the very first place in Georgia to actually decriminalize weed, and to make it to where it is just a ticket, right?
Okay.
It doesn't really affect you. And so I would do the same thing here in Lithonia for sure. Yeah, because the fact that it is legal in other states, right? And the fact that we know the history of like jail and what happens to like folks of color and whatnot. So that's something that I would also work to implement for sure.
Okay. So I should have asked this earlier, but what just makes you so passionate about doing all of this for Lithonia? You say you've been in the trenches from
Right.
all over the east
Been
side.
in the trenches,
Yes,
girl,
ma'am. So
working.
are you born and raised here?
Born and raised in Lithonia, Georgia, east side through and through.
Hey.
So yeah.
6.5 is what we call it.
right. So for me, it's a personal thing. Oftentimes people, they will spend time, they will go to other countries, and they will give all their time, like 2-5 years to a foreign country. That's fine. That's good. That is great. But we got people in our own backyards, our own people that need help. So for me, when I came back home from, being in the Midtown area, being in the city, to Lithonia, and going to the heart of Lithonia, just seeing the need that's there, it's just something that I feel like God just put on my heart. And I want us to have a beautiful city. We deserve it. We deserve it so much. And so my thing is, I just love to serve the people, and I want them to have a really great, high quality of life. And so, yeah, I think it's a homegrown thing. So funny. I actually asked that of my sister. I said, Nella, why am I so passionate about, this job as being mayor for Lithonia? Because I had other great offers, from some great companies, and there's other opportunities that I had. And she said, Cindy, it's because it's your home. And
Pretty simple.
And it's like, for you, it just means more to bless your home and to spend time building that than to do other things. And so that is why, girl, I just love it.
I know you've had a history of doing community service here.
Yeah, like my entire life. So I have been serving. So I was a Girl Scout, I was a Girl Scout. And so we started, my mom started us all young doing that. And so I would like, be in the park, picking up trash and all that stuff. We would spend time at the different senior homes. We just would really just do all that we could as Girl Scouts to help out, right? And then, of course, as you get into like high school, you have other clubs, to like also do things for folks too. So my entire life has just been filled with giving and with serving, and so it's just a part of who I am. Yeah,
Okay.
A servant leader, as they call it.
I know we said the interview was going to be 10 minutes, probably been about 20 or 30 now, but that's great. We needed all this information, especially as to why people should get involved, why people should vote.
Please
So
do.
the final question, which is probably the tip of the iceberg, what we really want to know is, in case we are rooting for you, okay?
Yes.
But in case you are not elected this term, how do you plan to go about continuing your support, continuing the things that you have worked for to better
Right.
help and develop Lithonia?
Great question. I gotta just call it, girl. Like, our plan is to win and is to be victorious. And so we're going to make sure that happens for sure. And so I will always serve. I will always give. It's my hometown, so I will always, even after I am elected and I do other things where I'm not mayor, then I'm going to always serve this place because it's my hometown and I love it.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so much again for your time. Thank you so much for
Thank
speaking
you.
with me.
Thank you,
Let us
girl.
know one more time where we can find you on social media and your website.
Yes. So please go to votecindythomas.com as well as facebook.com/votecindythomas as well as instagram.com/votecindythomas. And on there you can find all my info. Gmail, votecindythomas@gmail.com. If you have any questions, we definitely need donations as well as volunteers. So please, whatever you have, if it's $5, $10, $20, please do give so that we can have a victorious win for our people.
Okay. And thank you so much once again. Thank you to all the viewers. I hope
Thank
this
you.
does encourage you, whether you live in Lithonia or not, to definitely get involved in
Yes.
your community. Get
Yes.
involved with the mayor. Find out your districts because
Yes.
you may be in an unincorporated area. Certain things that are done in certain areas may or may not affect you.
Right.
Please go get involved. If you like what you see, please follow me at TEAACUPP_. Please contact me. I will speak to anyone in any other cities as
Right.
well, because I'm originally from Ellenwood, but I
Okay.
have to talk to you because this
Yes.
is where Lithonia is where most of my life's taking place,
Yes,
from
girl.
schools to recreational activities
Right.
to a lot of the business that I've gone to.
Right.
So yes, you guys, make sure you follow Spill the Tea TV. Make sure you subscribe right down below, and we are out.
Peace. Bye, y'all. Thank you, girl.